In the Maasai village called Masai Mara, where roles and responsibilities within the village were carried out by young men known as Maras. These were warriors and protectors of the community, fearless and very vigilant. They were the pride of the village, always ready to fight against the enemies of Masai Mara. The villagers were always dressed in recognized colorful shonkas, their tradition attires, which were predominantly red but also come in various bright colors and patterns, and their elaborate beadwork, very beautiful. The villagers loved their cattle and were always protective of them from wild animals. The king's daughter, Nima, was the jewel of the village. She would walk majestically in the palace, displaying the beauty of the Masai Mara. She was loved by everyone in the village, but the villagers showed their displeasure when they heard she was marrying the Tortoise. "Why is the princess marrying a tortoise?" murmured everyone. "This is a taboo. It is unheard of." Her beauty was known far and wide, but what set her apart was her intelligence and wit. Nima was no ordinary princess. She was a woman with plans. On the day of her wedding, the villagers gathered at the king's palace to celebrate. They danced, drank until they were drunk. It was a big wedding. People from other villages were invited to their wedding party. It was a big celebration. The king was very happy. The tortoise was excited. He has gotten what he wanted. His secret plan was to marry the princess and become the king of Masai Mara one day. Dethroning the human king was not an issue for him. His weapon is his cunning ways of getting what he wants. But Nima, the princess, had her own plan, unknown to Tortoise. Before the wedding day, the king and Princess Nima had a meeting to discuss a plan against the tortoise. "Father," Nima began, sitting beside the king, her voice barely above a whisper, "I have come to discuss something important." King Omari, a man of great wisdom and power, seated in a large carved wooden chair, his sharp eyes, which had seen many battles and outwitted many, leaned forward. Princess Nima was not one to speak without reason, and when she did, it was always something of great significance. "What is it, Nima, my daughter?" the king asked, curiously. Nima glanced around the room, ensuring they were alone. The palace guards were posted outside, and the servant had retired to their night. Satisfied, she turned back to her father. "It is about Tortoise," she said, her voice steady but carrying the weight of her thoughts. "Tortoise?" asked the father. "The one who tricked that foolish elephant and won your hand in marriage?" Nima nodded. "Yes, my to-be husband." "That sounds strange, but father, you and I both know the truth. A human marry an animal is impossible. Our traditions forbid such unions. The tortoise may think he is one, but he is merely a pawn in a much larger game." The king's eyes gleamed with understanding. "I see. You've always been sharp and smart, Nima. But tell me, what exactly do you have in mind?" Nima took a deep breath, choosing her words carefully. "The tortoise believes he is clever, that he has outwitted Kimani the elephant. But he doesn't know that Kimani overheard him talking to himself in the bush to take over Masai Mara after marrying me. When Kimani informed me of this, ideas started trooping into my mind. So I called the tortoise. I told him that by marrying me, he would gain power, influence, and control over the animal kingdom. He believed me. Father, what if we could turn his ambitions against him? What if we could use his cunning acts to bring about his downfall and in the process take over the animal kingdom for ourselves?" King Omari's expression remained neutral. "Go on," he urged. Go on. Nima began to pace slowly around the room, her mind working through the details of her plan. The animals hate the tortoise for his wit and cunning act. His tricks have caused problems and discord among them. We can make the animals believe that the tortoise is plotting against them, and you know that Kimani the elephant is seeking revenge against the tortoise for what he did to him. We can use Kimani the elephant to convince them of Tortoise's mischievous plans against the animal kingdom. They will no longer see him as one of them, but as a threat. And how do you propose we do that? The king asked, his voice now filled with anticipation. We will deceive them, father, Nima replied, stopping to face him. We will create a story, one that paints the tortoise as a traitor. We will spread rumors that he is planning to use his marriage to me to dominate the animal kingdom, to turn the animals against each other for his own gain. The animals are already wary of his tricks. It won't take much to convince them that he is a danger to them all. We will suggest bringing our own men to protect the animal kingdom. As soon as we gain grounds, we strike and take over the animal kingdom. It will finally become ours. King Omari nodded slowly, considering her words. And what about the tortoise himself? He is cunning, as you said. He won't fall for such a simple trap. Nima smiled. That is where you come in, father. You will play the role of a concerned father, worried for his precious daughter's safety. You will invite the tortoise to a private meeting where you will express your fears about the rumors spreading in the animal kingdom. You will advise him to lay low, to avoid drawing attention to himself while we work to clear his name. The king struck his chin thoughtfully. And in doing so, we will isolate him, keep him somewhere we can control his movement and pretend to conduct a search for him. And after some days, tie him down and present him to the animal kingdom to gain their trust. Exactly, Nima confirmed, her excitement growing. The animal will see us as heroes and make you king over them. King Omari stood, his imposing figure casting a long shadow across the room. Nima, this plan of yours is bold. It is dangerous, but it has the potential to succeed. The animal kingdom is vast, and its power, once unified, could be unstoppable. But we must be careful. The tortoise may be cunning, but we are Maasai. Our strength lies not just in our physical might, but in our wisdom, our ability to see through the illusions of others. Nima nodded, her mind already racing with the next steps. I will keep him close, father. I will make him believe that I'm on his side, that I share his ambitions. And when the time is right, we will reveal the truth to the animals and the kingdom will be ours. The king and princess embarked on their plans to strike the animal kingdom. One evening, Nima and Tortoise went for a walk. The two strolled through the village, the sounds of drums and laughter in the background. Tortoise, Nima began, her voice soft but with a hint of something more. Do you know why I agreed to marry you? Tortoise, ever confident, smiled. Because he recognized my cleverness, of course. Nima chuckled. A sound that was both sweet and dangerous. Cleverness? Yes. But that's not all. I saw an opportunity. Tortoise smiled slightly. An opportunity? Yes, Nima said, stopping to face him. You see, Tortoise, you may have tricked my father and even your dear friend Kimani, but I know better than you think. I know you seek power and you have desire to rule. Tortoise tilted his head, intrigued. Power? Yes, I want to be the king of the animal kingdom. Not telling her the truth of his plan to be the king of Masai Mara. Nima's eyes gleamed in the fading lights. I can help you to rule the animal kingdom, of course. You see, the Maasai are more than just people of the earth. We understand the balance of power and how to use it. And I can use it to get you what you want, Tortoise said curiously. And what makes you think you can achieve that, Nima? Because, she said, stepping closer, her voice low and commanding, I am the daughter of a king. I have been taught to lead, to manipulate, and to get what I desire. You may be clever, but I am the one who holds the true power in this relationship. Tortoise narrowed his eyes. And what if I don't let you be part of this? Nima's smile was cold. You won't, because if you do, I will expose you to my father, to the entire animal kingdom. I will tell them how you tricked Kimani, how you deceived everyone to marry me. They will turn against you and you'll be left with nothing. Nima laughed, hiding her skin with the king from Tortoise. Tortoise knew he was in deep trouble, but he was also excited. This was the challenge he craved, the game he loved to play. "Very well, Nima," he said, extending his hand. "Let the plan begin." As they walked back to the village, the drums beat louder, as if echoing the impending storm that was about to shake the animal kingdom. Nima had set her plan in motion, and Tortoise, ever the trickster, was excited that the animal kingdom would be his as well as the kingdom of Masai Mara. Tortoise had grown increasingly arrogant after his marriage to Princess Nima. He began making plans to take over the animal kingdom, believing that his wit and cunning schemes would easily outsmart the animals of the land. But what Tortoise didn't know was that Nima and her father, King Omari, were already 2 steps ahead of him. One evening, Princess Nima approached her father with a plan. "Father," she began, her voice low and filled with determination, "the time has come to rid ourselves of Tortoise's influence. He is a cunning creature, but his greed will be his downfall." King Omari nodded, his eyes narrowing. "So what do you propose, my daughter?" Nima leaned forward. "We will spread a rumor throughout the animal kingdom that Tortoise is plotting to overthrow them and claim the throne for himself. The animals will panic, and in their fear, we will turn against Tortoise. Meanwhile, you will hide him in the deepest part of our land, far from the reach of the animals. When the time is right, you will send your warriors to invade the animal kingdom while they are in disarray, and we will take over." King Omari nodded. A smile slowly spread across his face. "It is a brilliant plan, Nima. Tortoise will not know what hit him." The very next day, whispers began to spread like wildfire through the animal kingdom. The rumor was simple but potent. Tortoise, with his slaveways, had devised a plan to overthrow the kingdom and rule over the animals. The animals, already aware of Tortoise's tricks, quickly grew anxious. Birds whispered the news from treetop to treetop, while the land animals murmured in hushed tones. Fear and mistrust began to fester, and soon the kingdom was in turmoil. Tortoise, not aware of the growing unrest, continued with his daily activities, thinking himself untouchable. Meanwhile, King Omari had Tortoise brought into his palace under the guise of protection. "Tortoise," the king said with fake concern, "there are rumors spreading in the animal kingdom. The creatures are turning against you. They believe you seek to overthrow them. I cannot allow them to harm you. I will hide you in a safe place until this madness blows over." Tortoise, now afraid, agreed to be hidden away. He was taken to a remote cave deep within the Maasai land, where he was left alone to ponder his fate. While Tortoise remained hidden, King Omari's warrior prepared for their invasion. The king had chosen this moment carefully, knowing that the animals, distracted and divided by the rumors, would be vulnerable. Under the cover of darkness, King Omari's men descended upon the animal kingdom. They moved swiftly, capturing the leaders of the animal tribes and taking control of the land. By the time the sun rose, the animal kingdom was no more. King Omari's flag flew high over the land, and the animals, confused and leaderless, were forced to submit to their new rulers. Tortoise, the supposed mastermind behind the chaos, was brought out of hiding and brought before Princess Nima. "Your cleverness has led to your downfall, Tortoise," Nima said coldly, as she looked down at the once proud creature. "You thought you could outsmart everyone, but in the end it was you who was outsmarted." Tortoise was sad. As punishment for his deceit, Tortoise was made a slave to Princess Nima. He was punished and told to sweep the palace ground every day and fetch water from the river every day. The once proud Tortoise, who had schemed to rule the animal kingdom, was now nothing more than a servant in the very palace he had sought to control. Princess Nima, satisfied with his outcome, ruled the animal kingdom with wisdom and fairness. She had proven that true cleverness was not just about trickery, but about sight and understanding the hearts of others. Under her rule, the land prospered, and the animals, though subdued, found peace once again. And as for Tortoise, he learned a valuable lesson. Even the most cunning of creatures can be outwitted by those who are patient and wise.